What up, everybody? So, Friday the 13th, released in 1980 and directed by Sean S. Cunningham, written by Victor Miller, who did an awesome fucking script, by the way. You know, fuck that guy nowadays because, all the Friday the 13th video game bullshit that dude drug out, is just ridiculous. I mean, suing a company for all this and that, but that's another story for another time. This is something I wanted to touch on for a long time because my channel is called Savini Jason, which this mask is based on. Custom made it myself. So the shape, I know you're watching, man. You're not the only one that loves Jason, but I don't see how the fuck you do a video in that mask every time you do it, because it gets hot as fucking this. Like, y'all see how hard I was breathing? That was legit. That wasn't Kane Hodder's shit. That was me trying to breathe inside this motherfucker. Anyways, like I said, Friday the 13th, it's, a pioneer of the slasher genre. A lot of people could argue and say Leatherface kicked it off with Texas Chainsaw Massacre in 74, or Halloween did it better in 78, but nobody did it with purity like Friday the 13th did. It's kickstarted the door for all the imitators and slew of imitators that we've seen in the 80s after Friday the 13th. It had creative, state-of-the-art, for its time now, state-of-the-art practical effects. And the awesome master, Tom Savini, was magnificent on this movie. The shit that he was able to do with the little bit of stuff they had. Low-budget movie, They basically ripped off Halloween. They even stated that in all the years after this movie's been released, Sean Cunningham and everyone has said that, basically we wanted to rip off Halloween for its success. And they knew it was a huge blockbuster, so they wanted to go ahead and do it with their own thing. And if you think about it, Halloween and Friday the 13th is a lot alike. They're very similar. Because in the beginning of Halloween, you see the prior Evil in 1963 with Michael butchering Judith. Well, in this one, you got 1957, Crystal Lake, or maybe it was a few years later. I don't remember. I think it was a few years after Jason drowned. And you see Mr. Voorhees creeping through the cabin and stabbing them two horny fucking teenagers that were about to fuck. And that guy's like, oh, we wasn't doing nothing. We were just fooling around. And he's like, nah, bitch. Stab the shit out of them. Don't have premarital sex, kids. Just don't do it. But anyways, basically Friday the 13th is a tragic story because it's about a mother coming for vengeance of her son's death. She's trying to avenge his death because he was wrongfully killed. Even though it was an accident, but you got to blame the counselors. They were negligent. They didn't pay attention to him. Jason was a special boy. And he should have had somebody watching him 24/7, because this kid had serious issues. And it wasn't just because he was a mongoloid, but he had mental disorders. He's mentally challenged. And, it's just horrible what happened to Jason. It's something that should have never happened. But thank God it did, because we wouldn't have got all the awesome sequels we got. But I got to totally feel for Jason. He's always been a very sympathetic character to me. My heart's always gone out to someone like that because I was picked on when I was in school. It really, kids that are bullied in school can relate to a character like Jason. You don't see the football star or the cheerleader typically being the Friday the 13th fan. Not to say that maybe there ain't, but usually they ain't. It's always the outcast, the bullied, fucked up kids that we all know ourselves to be that reach out and relate to the character of Jason Voorhees. We get strength from the character of Jason. Even though we don't go out and deal with our bullies the way he did and just grab a machete and whack them motherfuckers' heads off like they should have done. Like I should have done, but I didn't. So, thank God for that, because I'd be in an insane asylum right now. But the movie's really awesome. It's got a lot of good characters and a lot of fun characters and some stupid ones. There's some dumbasses, like mainly the final girl, Alice. She's really a fucktard. She's really an idiot because she has so many chances to kill Mrs. Voorhees in this movie that it's ridiculous. She has so many chances to just finish her off, and the dumb bitch just runs out the door and keeps running everywhere when she has the perfect opportunity to end this bitch. She hits her in the head with a spatula at one point, and Mrs. Voorhees is laying there bloody as fuck on the ground, and instead of finishing her off, she just drops the weapon and runs away. Like a fucking idiot. I'm like, you dumb bitch. And then you got some characters that are kind of creepy and stalkerish. You got a killer and you got a stalker in this. And the stalker is Mr. Steve Christy. Jerry Springer's less popular, less famous, child molesting looking fucking brother. This motherfucker was so creepy, dude. He made John Wayne Gacy have nightmares. Like, creepy as shit. With them little jean shorts, the motherfucker looked like he's missing his audition for the Village People. You know, it was terrible. He looked so creepy, man. Just standing there talking to Alice, you can tell he's making her uncomfortable. So I don't know. We got a child molester in this. You got a nutcase walking through the woods, channeling her son's voice in her head. And for once, I'm going to settle the debate. It is not. You know, look the shit up. You know, you've been saying it wrong all these years. I admit I did for years, but it's actually because they put it through an echoplex. You know, and Harry Manfredini, that dude was a fucking master when it came to music, because he put on a hell of a score for this movie, especially the ending. You know, when we get that dramatic ending of Alice sitting in the boat in the middle of Crystal Lake, and it just swells up, you know, to a beautiful symphony score, and all of a sudden Jason comes out of the fucking water and grabs her. Which is another thing that don't make sense with the timeline of this movie, I gotta say. Alright, if Jason died at the age of 11 and he drowned in 1957, and this movie takes place in 1980, wouldn't he be the size of a full-grown man by now? I mean, he drowned 20 years earlier, but a boy jumps out of the lake. I call bullshit on that. You know, it makes no sense. Mrs. Voorhees, you know, I sympathize with her, but she was a crazy bitch. And some of the, like I said, I can't wait to get into the later sequels of this, because the timeline in these movies make no sense, but it's also the reason we love them so much. But, you know, I'll probably spend enough time on this. I'm going to try to get part 2 up tomorrow, if not today. But I just want to kick off my Friday the 13th reviews, because my good friend Essie Greer has been doing an awesome job of it over at Entertainment Fanatic Reviews. He's killing it. He's up to part 8 now. Well, he just did part 8, but he's about to do Jason Goes to Hell, one of my favorites. And speaking of Jason Goes to Hell, Adam Marcus, the director of that, is also on set for Friday the 13th, 1980. He was there. He worked with Sean and his son. They were real good friends, you know, at the time. So Adam was young as fuck. Adam D. Marcus was on the set of Friday the 13th. That's awesome shit. You know, he gave us what masterpiece we got with Jason Goes to Hell. And say what you will, that movie's fucking awesome. I don't give a fuck. Kiss my ass if you don't like it. But anyways, yeah, that's about all I can say about this one. I really love the gore in it. I really like the characters. Ned was probably my favorite character out of this, because he's just so damn goofy and nerdy and quirky. And that's pretty much me in a nutshell. So if I was in this movie, that's who I would have been. I would have been Ned, no doubt. It had hot-ass babes, pretty good sex scenes, all besides that scene where the girl's grabbing Kevin Bacon's hairy ass. You know, it's kind of cringy. So, could have did without that. But other than that, yeah, I'll go ahead and give Friday the 13th Part 1. If I had to rate it, I would say I'd give it a B+, you know, because it's not the best out of the franchise. It's not my favorite at all. My favorite's Part 7. So I can't wait to get into that one, so I can prove Essie wrong why he shouldn't hate that movie and he should love it, because I'm going to prove you wrong, man. But anyways, yeah, Part 7 is my favorite, and this one is probably near the bottom of my list. Of, if I had to rank it, you know, it wouldn't be way up there, sad to say. But 6, 7, and 8 are my favorites out of this franchise. So anyways, yeah, Friday the 13th was a Kickstarter for the horror slasher genre. And that about wraps it up. So until next time, like, share, subscribe, and let me know what you think. If you thought I left anything out, comment below and let me know. And let me know what you'd like for me to talk about any other time besides the Friday the 13th movies. Give me some ideas for some movies I can review, because I need some fresh ideas for the holiday season. But anyways, I'm going to get out of here, and I hope you all have a great weekend. So, God bless you.